Hello, I am back on live on Facebook. Yay! Say hello if you can see this. So tonight, what we're going to do, I have transferred my my mum's tuna casserole recipe to the recipe community in about 2014. Recently, I've transferred from the recipe community to Cookidoo. And then I've updated it on Cookidoo so that it comes up on my Thermomix just like a normal recipe. So what we do, we go My Recipes, and then we click on Created Recipes, and I have got Maureen's tuna casserole here. I have saved it in Cook Today, but I wanted to show you where the created recipes were. So Maureen's tuna casserole, and here are all the steps, just like a normal recipe would be. Okay, and then we're going to start cooking. So enjoy cooking your own recipe. So add 1 brown onion, halved. And then next, so chop 3 seconds, speed 5. And so to get the dials to come up, I am just going to push there. So 3 seconds, speed 5, just like a normal Cookidoo recipe. So I'm going to do that. And then we press the X to get out. And then next, scrape down the bowl with a spatula. So I'm not just cooking this, I'm actually testing out whether I've done it all correctly. So hopefully I have. All right. Now the hint, if you have a 31, the recipes used to be chop 3 seconds, speed 7 for an onion. You'll actually find that they've changed it now to 3 seconds, speed 5, because speed 5 will give you the chopping of an onion like you'd normally chop it, like you've chopped it yourself, whereas speed 7 actually makes the onion a bit wet. Let me just show you. There we go. You can see that. All right, let's bring that back down. Hopefully you can see that. All right, add 35 grams of olive oil, and if I just press the scales down the bottom here, the scales come up. Let's pull that back so you can see the full screen. There we go. So 35 grams of olive oil, I pour until I hit 30, and pull up, 34. Come out of there. Add 1 teaspoon of curry powder. So obviously if you like more curry, you can add more curry. Yet again, there's no Thermomix police. But I put powders around the outside because we don't want it sitting on the top of the blade, not getting mixed in. Then we go saute for 4 minutes, 100 degrees, MC off, speed 1. Because when you saute your onion, when you do it in a saucepan, you'd have the MC off. There we go, so 4 minutes, 100, speed 1. It says place the simmering basket on the mixing bowl lid to protect against splatter. Let us do that. So even with the created recipes, they've updated that new safety feature. So what else we've got, I will just crack my eggs because I didn't get time. I put them in the boil mode. I did my 2 eggs in the boil. So I always crack them on the bottom, on the rounded bottom. And normally, although I don't normally leave them this long before I peel them, let me just show you. And then we're going to want to slice them. So you can have your eggs boiled much earlier in the day. or just before, depends on how long you've got. Now today as well, I actually bought tuna in spring water for this. Normally I would buy tuna in brine because that's of course what we had in the 70s and 80s. So I'm actually just going to add a little touch of salt to my recipe. Obviously I picked up the wrong tin, but that's okay. So obviously in the 70s and 80s we were big on budgeting and stuff, well not budgeting, but you know, spending less money. So tuna was a great choice for that. You're still getting your protein and all that sort of stuff. Mum used to make tuna patties as well. We all enjoyed that. We had we had our tuna casserole with rice. I know for some people that is blasphemy, but that is how we grew up, and that is the only way I'm going to eat it. Most people, or I found lots of people, have their tuna casserole with pasta. So each to their own. And then we'd have our tuna patties with chips, homemade ones. And then when frozen bags of chips came out, Mum would get those for a treat. All right, peeling off. So let me show you how the peel went with that one. That's not bad. Lost a little bit off the top because I normally peel them when they're hot. I've got not quite asbestos fingers, but not too far off. All right, so we're down to a minute and left on our cook. I hope everyone's going well. And I also wanted to get the message across. I'm not sure if everybody knows yet, but if you join as a consultant, come and join my team. But in the next 2 months, if you join as a consultant, you only have to sell 4 Thermomixes in 60 days rather than 6 Thermomixes. So you're actually getting the Thermomix at a major discount. Plus you're getting to give a business a go, and maybe you'll make it your side, you know, side hustle, or maybe you'll make it a full-time business. Who knows, and you won't know till you try. And don't forget, it's not just for people buying their first Thermomix or upgrading to a TM6. It's also people, what if you wanted a second one? What if you wanted to give a second Thermomix as a TM6 as a gift? Maybe that's something that you could think about doing. How amazing would that be? Alright, so I've just chopped my eggs. Let's go to the next step. So, next step is insert the butterfly. Because we want it to mix nicely. So, things such as if you are using chicken breast rather than chicken thigh, I would put the butterfly in because it actually moves. Let me lift that up and show you. It actually moves the meat around or whatever you've got in there more softly, so that you can, so the chicken breast doesn't fall apart as much. Okay, 440 of milk. Oh, hang on. Let's put our scales on. There we go. So 440 of milk. Full cream, obviously, if you want the full flavour. So 444 is what I've got. Then we pop in 2 tablespoons of plain flour. Always an important ingredient for your tuna casseroles. Alright, same thing. It's not going to land on the blade knob because we've got enough liquid over the top, but I still put it around because we've got the butterfly in. We don't want it to sit on the butterfly and not get mixed in. Okay, 6 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 2, MC off, steaming basket on top. So then we go to here, 600, speed 2 shows me where it is, and it reminds me to put the simmering basket on top. Alright, so I am going to show you, hopefully you can see on the screen, my Cookidoo. Because I'm doing this on my iPad, so I can't, and I'm going through a different program. So I haven't worked out how to screen share on that one. But there's our created recipes. That away. There's my list. There's all my, so I make lots of different collections. I've got broccoli, demo modes, gluten-free, Thermix Thursday. So if you've got anything to offer, suggestions for Thermix Thursday, please do in the comments. But we've got created recipes. So different ones that I have done. I have brought over a couple from Recipe Community, and all you need to do is go onto Recipe Community and click transfer to Cookidoo, and it will do. But then you'll find it will bring over, the ingredients will be like a normal recipe, but then the steps themselves will be in a big blob. So then you need to go in and edit with our little edit button there and separate them out. I actually find it's easier to do on the website on my laptop because I've got the big screen and I can do it faster that way rather than trying to do it on my iPhone. And so it's cookidoo.com.au to do it on your laptop. So you can transfer only things from Recipe Community. You cannot transfer other recipes from other websites because of the copyright. But you can also transfer into created recipes. So this one here, the fettuccine, I've actually moved it within Cookidoo from where it's basically a copy. I've moved it into created recipes, a copy into created recipes. Let me show you how to do that. So we actually open it up. So that's bread, banana bread, sorry. Then you can actually go add, and it says add to created recipes. So I'll add that to created recipes, and then you can edit it. So the one that I've got with the fettuccine, I do things differently. I chop the tomatoes, we put in bacon instead of salami, and I use light Philly, cream cheese rather than cream in the recipe. So I can actually adjust that so that I can follow the recipe how I do it. So easy as that. You can also, within created recipes, just upload your own recipe from scratch, which is great as well. So if you've got something, you know, like my mum's old recipe, or there's the 3 that I have that I created in Recipe Community way back in 2014, is a chicken lick and bacon pie that's a recipe I actually created myself. Then you've got Anzac biscuits, which is one that I took from a 1972 kids cookbook and tweaked it for Thermomix, and then my mum's recipe, which I tweaked for Thermomix. Alright, down to a minute 55, and we can see obviously again on the TM6 and the TM5, once you go over 60 degrees, the lights go red as a safety feature because the bottom of the bowl is hot. Now I might actually change this to speed 1, because actually speed 1 and speed 4 actually heat up faster than the other speeds. Maybe not faster, but yeah, faster. So I might actually tweak the recipe and do that next time I make it. But we'll see how we go. So the other things that we've got are our tuna chunks. We've got half a lemon, and we've got chives. So Mum always had chives because we had this so often. We had chives in the garden, so that's actually something that I might do when I try and, you know, grow green things again, which I don't always do very well at. Water apparently is a major ingredient that I keep forgetting to do. And then we've also got our eggs as well. And then I am going to put in that little bit of salt. Here's my salt. So I always I buy rock salt and then mill my salt so that I've got enough for, you know, teaspoon, half a teaspoon, that sort of stuff. Even with a Thermomix, I highly recommend that you get spoons, because especially if you're going to do beautiful curries and things like that, you're going to want a teaspoon of this, half a teaspoon, quarter of a teaspoon, that sort of stuff. It's much better to have rather than trying to work it out on just a teaspoon out of the out of your drawer. All right, so we come out of there. So add our tin of tuna. I probably could have added the butterfly at this step. I'll have a think about that one. So chunky tuna. There we go. I'm just going to add just a little bit of salt. Right, so cook 5 minutes, 100 degrees reverse. So when I set that, it will actually come up on reverse already. So it really is just like a Cookidoo recipe, all set and ready to go. There we go, so 5 minutes. And don't worry, I can talk for another 5 minutes. As you know, I have no problems with talking. So with this one, no, can't close that. I was going to say the only thing that you don't have is the ability to preview the next steps or go back and check something or pop out of the recipe that you can within Cookidoo itself. So please come along to our Thermomix Thursday virtuals. Every Thursday night at 8 PM Perth time. We cook something different every week. We've done all sorts of desserts like eclairs, macarons, pavlovas. We've also done nut milks and what to do with them. We did saving money with the Thermomix. We've done a few Asian recipes that were delicious. So make your own bao buns, that sort of thing. So it's always something different every week, but we give hints and tips and suggestions every week. So you might learn something new every week. All right, 3 minutes to go. Thank you for watching. Still going. So I might even change a few steps, like putting the tuna in at the same time as the flour. Maybe not. I'll have a think about it. Let's see how it turns out. Now once it's finished, I'm going to put it into a thermoserver. Now don't forget that whether you own a Thermomix or you don't, no matter what model Thermomix you own, and you can have as many cooking experiences or demos, whatever you'd like to call them, as you want. All you need to do is invite two new people to come along so that we can meet new people. And then you have access to the host rewards, such as 3 different sizes and types of thermoserver, which keeps your food hot or cold, the bread mat and the oven mat, or our new blade cover and peeler as well. They're all host rewards that you can have for as little as just having me on Zoom, or me coming to your house, cooking 2 dishes, minimum 2 people, sort of maximum 4-ish, so everybody gets to see what's going on. No one has, there's no commitment to buy ever, and we just talk about food. How cool is that? We all love to talk about food. And you might learn something new, even if you've had a Thermomix for 10 years. I always show older owners something new that they didn't know before, so that makes my day fun too. All right, 1:28 left. Hopefully this has been going out to everybody. All right, clocking down. So I'm hoping to do some more virtuals in the next couple of weeks, especially, not virtuals, Facebook Lives, especially with school holidays on. I'm not quite the mum chauffeur or Uber mum at the moment. Counting down. Oh. They didn't notice that. Didn't put the basket on. That's fine. No one noticed. Good. Alright, 35 seconds to go. There we go. So a key to keeping your thermoserver hot is the more you fill it, the longer it stays hot. You can also preheat it with hot water. You can raise your dough in here just by preheating it with a bit of hot water and then put olive oil inside. That's another thing you can do. All right. Then we're putting in our 2 boiled eggs, sliced. Let me just show you how it's looking. There we go. Looks how I remember. Just back. Right, 2 boiled eggs sliced with my groovy. Not sure if you've seen these knives in the mix shop. Oh my god, they're so good. All right, so pop our eggs either side of the butterfly. Then we want to do 20 grams of lemon juice. So another hint, put your spatula in. This one actually has no pips, so I'm not so scared. So I just use my spatula to get as much juice out as I can. 19, 20, perfect. And then it's going to ask me for half the chives. So it's about a tablespoon of chives, or, well, actually it's more. I like the chives. So I'll just chuck them in, pop that back on for another 2 minutes. So we're nearly done. So reverse, it's going to be on slow stir so that we don't break all the eggs up. 2 minutes, just warm that all up. And then pop it in our thermoserver and sprinkle our chives on top. So please comment in the post if you've got any questions. I'm happy to answer anytime. Or if you've got any suggestions for things that you've always wanted to make but want to see done first, I'm happy to take on a challenge. A lady one time asked me to make cannoli, the Italian pastry did that. That was lots of fun making cannoli. And I used a recipe from Mexico that was in Spanish. So if you come along, I'll do a show of how to translate in Cookidoo with Chrome and with your phone with the Translate app as well. So we've got 1 minute left. A bit of a, there we go. Not quite so wonky. Excellent. Not long now. I'll have dinner with my rice. My tuna casserole with my rice. "30 seconds is never so long until you're actually standing watching, waiting 30 seconds countdown." Alright, so it cools down as well, which is fantastic. Oh, close dialogue to continue now. There we go. 2, 1. Alright. Next step, pour casserole into a thermoserver, chop with the remaining chives and let rest for 5 minutes. So when you're making, obviously this is not a rice or pasta dish, but when you do make a rice or pasta dish, pop it into your thermoserver and let it rest for 5 minutes. It just finishes it off perfectly. All right. So, I'll take my butterfly out. Probably should add that step to the recipe. I'm going to show you our tuna casserole. Oop, that way. There we go. And then I'll pour it into my thermoserver. And I always put my spatula in front just to make sure no splatter goes awry. Okay. Alrighty. Just like Mum made. Okay. Now on the bottom, you can see just a little bit of caramelization there. Let me give you another hint. A little bit of bicarb soda. Pop it in there, put a little bit of water, make it into a paste, leave it about 5 minutes, and then use a little scrubby, and it's all gone. No need for big dramas. Takes it off very quickly. All right, thank you very much to everybody for coming along. Let me just sprinkle some more of my chives. Put my lid on so it stays hot. And I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye.